Next Chapter Podcasts.
In this episode, we swear a pretty good amount, and there are some fairly heavy moments related to drug and alcohol abuse and death. But it's also honest and very real. You can find more information like specific content warnings in the show notes. And by the way, if you have a story of family secrets or darkly funny drama that you want to share, we want to hear it. Email us at everybodyknowspod@gmail.com. We'll keep you completely anonymous if you want, and only publicize details you feel comfortable sharing with the world. And a huge thank you to those who have shared their stories so far.
Everybody Knows But Me is brought to you by Grey Poupon Mustard and the indomitable will of the human spirit. You really can't keep us down, can ya? Our show is recorded in front of a live studio audience.
I don't know, Holly. Yeah, I love going on fun little missions with you and Carson to get out of the house. But the MPAA guidelines are super clear. I don't think it was appropriate to bring him to see 40-year-old virgin with us.
And what else are we supposed to do with him? Leave him with Mom? Or Dad? At that point, we might as well leave him with the haunted ventriloquist dummy from Goosebumps.
Don't worry, Case. I didn't understand a single thing anyone said. Leslie Mann's character sure does drive like Mom, though.
What did I tell you? Now where we park again?
By the way, what does "me so horny" mean?
It's just, normal biological function. Holly?
At least he didn't say it in the same voice Steve Carell did. Yikes. That is not gonna age well.
Well, if you're so unbothered, maybe you can help me from freaking out. It's bad enough that we took Mom's car without asking for like the third time this week, and I don't even have my driver's license yet. Then I used her ID to pretend to be you guys' mom to get us into an R-rated movie, which, I mean, the ticket taker barely even looked at us. What is going on with society today? Now we have to worry about our 7-year-old brother going to school and talking about pubes or whatever.
Are you guys talking about the chest waxing scene? That was hilarious! Oh, car's over here, by the way.
Can we not stand in the middle of this parking lot and confess all of our crimes out loud, please? Why are you so tense? Let's just get out of here before Carson starts arousing his usual amount of suspicion.
Have you ever heard of the term fuck buddy? It's a special friend who you fuck.
Fine. Let me just check my purse and make sure I have everything. Oh no.
What's wrong, Casey?
My wallet! I left my wallet in the movie theater! It has both my learner's permit and Mom's ID in it. If she's not with us when we go and ask for that wallet, they're gonna realize we stole hers!
Oh, shit.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit!
Not now, Carson! This is my opportunity to freak out and no one else's! If they decide to call the cops, I'm screwed! It'll be on my permanent record. There goes my dream of applying to Yale or Princeton or Cornell.
Yale? Cornell? But those are all East Coast colleges. You'd be so far away from us.
We'll be even further away from each other if Child Protective Services comes and separates us.
Right. 10 seconds of talking to either Mom or Dad, and they'll see we've gone full-blown Lord of the Flies at home.
Hey, Case. Some dork over there in a vest and a name tag is trying to get your attention.
Hey there, Miss Brown?
Oh, Lord, the hammer's coming down. Boxed in. Nowhere left to run. Only choice left is to come clean. That's right. The last name is Brown. Casey Brown. 15 years old, 5 feet 10 inches, Libra, future organ donor. Did I lie and impersonate my mother? Yes. Did I take her car without asking? Yes. Did I bring my preteen brother to a movie about sex? Yes. Do I desperately want to protect the fragile bonds keeping my family together and simultaneously also seek to escape their chaos? Yes. Because I am a human being, damn it! And I have my flaws. I'm just as responsible for the chaos as the rest of them. Because I am not just a supporting character. I have depth. So do your worst, just don't take me from my family!
Okay. You just look like one of the two white ladies whose IDs were in this wallet. So I just wanted to give it back to you.
You're not going to arrest us?
Lady, minimum wage here is $5.15 an hour. I couldn't care less if you set fire to this place.
Wow. Well, now they're in the clear. I guess we should go get some fucking French toast. Woo! Hell yeah! Okay.
You might as well call me Ally McBeal, because as you can probably tell by now, I am very studied in sitcom law. And sitcom laws are pretty clear. You're allowed one dead parent max. And even then, it usually happened before the pilot episode, not 6 seasons in for emotional character development, for Christ's sake. If my dreams of someday having the perfect sitcom family were already slipping away, now they were officially obliterated. You caught me, listener. We are not at the happy ending yet. But there's still time. And by God, do I want us to get there. Plus, we still have a few more twists and turns left to explore. Because only a short while after finally getting my mom back, my imperfect mom who loved rainy days and Stephen King novels and taking her kids on Costco runs, I got the phone call nobody ever wants to get. One I had somehow both feared constantly and convinced myself could never actually happen. Because life couldn't take both of my parents, right? That's not sitcom writing anymore. That's Batman origin story territory.
Hi, Bruce Wayne.
Are you sure?
Dickensian orphan nonsense.
Please, sir, I want some more.
Emotionally devastating prestige television, not the life of a comedy-obsessed valley girl who just wanted something resembling normal.
As if.
But like I've said from the beginning, my family life has never followed a normal storytelling structure. And even though my brother and sister looked way more well-adjusted than I did growing up, we all shared the same giant connective tissue of trauma, grief, secrecy, and one profoundly weird life. And my siblings weren't just side characters waiting off stage for their next scene in my story. They had their own plot lines, their own coping mechanisms, their own sitcom archetypes, and their own private pain and experiences that were even more different than I realized. Oh, and one other gigantic thing we all have in common. Younger twin half-brothers we hadn't met yet.
It's so funny that when you kind of zoom out and look at our whole lives, all these crazy things that happens, having half-brothers you've never met, to me has always been like, oh yeah, I have half-brothers.
Oh, same.
Some people are like, wait, what do you mean you haven't met your brothers? And I'm like, oh, I mean,
yeah.
where do I start?
Over a decade had passed since we first learned about them. And after losing my mom, this giant secret I had barely even begun processing suddenly came fully into focus. So, why haven't we met them? Well, underneath all of that was another realization slowly settling in. We had spent our entire lives surviving. We fought so hard to keep both of our parents alive for so long that I genuinely believed the worst was behind us once my dad died and my mom got sober. I thought we had earned some damn peace. Instead, we were about to crack open one more giant emotional vault and finally talk honestly about the things that shaped each of us differently. And be honest about why we haven't met our brothers yet. From Next Chapter Podcasts and Companion Arts, this is Everybody Knows But Me, Episode 6, The One Where We Grow Up. After my mom died, the bond between my siblings and me became unshakable. As if all of us subconsciously decided, okay, nothing on earth is ever tearing us apart now. We would love each other more fiercely than the Tanners, the Banks family, and even the dinosaurs from, well, dinosaurs combined.
I'm the baby, brand new, just out. Gotta love me. Come on, gotta love me.
Although, to be fair, the dinosaurs did deal with an extinction event, so emotionally they may actually understand us best. You've heard pieces of my siblings throughout this series already. You know where they came from. And somehow, they turned into these incredibly kind, funny, outgoing, generous human beings. And even if our childhood was as hard as we thought it was, at least we could point to our relationship and say, we got this part right.
High five!
In my storyline, I was off dealing with my own particularly insane subplot. A parent using me as a prop, feeling constantly targeted and othered, sexual assault, mental illness, and, nearly losing myself entirely. And because my suffering was louder and messier and more visible, I assumed life had simply been a lot easier for my siblings than it was for me. After all, they looked more okay than I did. It's funny how when you grow up with very little emotional safety, you still compare the tiny scraps of stability the people around you received as if they got some wildly better deal. It's true that I absolutely became the emotional lightning rod in our family, the visible symptom everybody latched onto, but my siblings were struggling too. Just more quietly, avoiding it, containing it. Because even the perfect honor roll sister and the lovable zany little brother had their own survival mechanisms. The things they had to become in order for us to make it through.
I just felt like we lived so much of our life with secrets, and I don't want to do that ever again.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, same. Which is, it's not, you don't think of them as secrets at the time when you're in survival mode. Yeah. You're not intentionally being, this is we never used the word secret probably to describe any of this, but in hindsight it was absolutely we were hiding things.
Yeah, we hid everything because it was, I don't know about you, I'm probably not you, Carson, I don't know about you, Holly, but for me it was a very active at school. I didn't want mom to come to conferences or anything like that because I was if people clock what's going on, they will separate us.
Oh, same.
That was my constant fear and my constant thought, and I did not want that to happen.
Yeah.
Nowadays, my older sister Casey is a total badass businesswoman working for some of the biggest and most fun companies on the planet. If you've bought a toy, visited a theme park, or generally experienced joy as a consumer, there's a decent chance she was one of the savvy brains shaping that decision behind the scenes. She hosts annual karaoke birthday parties that people genuinely look forward to all year long, and keeps a running karaoke song list on her phone at all times that, I'm telling you right now, is the greatest millennial karaoke catalog ever assembled. In her 20s, she used to host weekly bar trivia nights where all of our friends would gather. She unfortunately never cheated and secretly gave us answers, but she absolutely made it the most competitive and fun trivia night in town.
Heck yes!
So, honestly, it felt very correct years later when she fulfilled her lifelong dream of appearing on, are you ready for this? Jeopardy! Yeah! She technically got a TV credit before I did, which was rude of her, but I still brag about it constantly because just knowing somebody who got on Jeopardy is so impressive.
Suck on it, Trebek.
She's wildly goofy, way too competitive, stubborn as hell when challenged, and will drop everything immediately for someone she loves. And while Casey became the hyper-capable, logical, oldest daughter type, my little brother Carson somehow became the coolest person alive completely by accident. Like truly, no part of him is trying. Even as a kid, he always wanted to make things with his hands. He made homemade fireworks we extremely irresponsibly shot off around the 4th of July. He dug a giant pit in our backyard where he'd sit shirtless, smoking homemade beef jerky that my friends immediately wanted to buy from him. Now, he's a talented, self-taught carpenter and literal landscaper to the stars. He's built furniture, patios, custom wooden serving utensils out of beloved family trees, and knows more about plants than anyone I've ever met. I can point to a random tree and go, "What that?" And he'll calmly tell me the Latin name like a woodland wizard. He's active in his church, an absolutely terrible texter, impossible to pin down socially, and maybe the funniest non-comedian I know. In short, I fucking adore my siblings. We are wildly different people and also perfectly fit the structure of a sitcom sibling trio. The smarty pants sister, the rebellious middle child, and the lovable weird little brother. But, you guessed it, those roles didn't just magically appear out of nowhere. Like mine, theirs were also forged inside an incredibly unstable home. Some on our dad's side of the family have joked, even before they knew the full scope of what happened in our house, that somehow we turned out the best out of everybody.
Oh.
Sorry to my cousins. Their words, not mine. So, at the same time my parents were treating me like I was this dramatic loose cannon responsible for all the bad, my sister was shoved into something else. Fix problems, keep it all together, be an adult.
Carson and I would go, we would watch a lot of movies.
And this wasn't this was you going.
Yeah. This was
I gotta
me going,
get this guy out of the house.
Our house is not a fun or safe place to be, so we would run errands a lot. We would go walk to Albertsons.
Go to Target.
Spent a lot of time walking around Target.
Totally.
And then we'd go to Albertsons, like sometimes just because I needed help carrying the bags. Like I was like, I can't carry.
You needed our little buff boy.
I need a little tiny boy, so
with a 6-pack.
Like I remember like so vividly when I wrote about it in my college letter, like a moment where we were carrying groceries back and a bag of oranges like burst into Nordhoff.
Oh my God, I remember that.
Yeah, right.
That's
you
so
were with me.
Weird.
And I was like crying, and I was like trying to pick up all the oranges, and I was just so overwhelmed.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
And I just remember trying to be like, it's fine. And we would go to the park. It was like park, Target, Albertsons, or the movies.
Yeah.
And we would walk before I could drive. And we would walk
How far of a walk?
It was like 2 miles to
I remember
Man 9.
those walks, yeah.
It was fun. We would
the
talk.
Man 9 up in Devonshire?
Yes.
Yeah, we'd walk up that hill
Yes.
past
Are
the church.
you serious?
And we'd talk all the time about the Greek festival.
was
That
probably-
is so far.
I mean, it's like a little less than an hour.
It was like 2 miles, and yeah, it would take us like an hour, and we would walk up there.
I mean, that just speaks to like, mom couldn't drive. Like
No, it
nobody
wasn't safe.
wanted her to. Yeah.
I carry a tremendous amount of guilt about this period of our lives. About trying to run away or shut down while my sister was helping keep us alive. Still, I'm incredibly grateful she gave our much younger brother little scraps of normalcy during all of it, while quietly carrying far more than any teenager should have had to. I somehow still believed my sister had everything. She was school president, medaled in academic decathlon, played piano beautifully, and always seemed to have a smile on her face. I was deeply jealous of the praise and positive attention she got, the way she funneled all of her energy into becoming the best. But what I didn't realize then was that she envied things about me too. She might have had the role of the good one, but I did get some things she didn't. Like no braces, no acne, and the ability to take up all the emotional oxygen in a room.
You were allowed to have big emotions, and it took up all the emotions
Yeah.
that people were allowed to have. It was like, Dad mom and you, I just felt like somebody had to have a level head.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And neither of our parents were. And I didn't realize until I was much older and in therapy that made my relationship with emotions kind of damaged in different ways. You know, where like I wasn't able to access certain things I needed to.
Yeah.
Because I had just kind of like squished them down into a little box, and I was like, those are bad. Like good emotions, joy, happiness, bad emotions, anger, keep that one locked away. And so,
and I always felt like when you and I would get into a disagreement and like emotions would come and play on your end, it was like 0 to 60 of crying.
Yeah.
And I understand how it all shaped out. At the time, I was like, whoa, what do I do with this? And I was very mean about it. I'm pretty sure. I don't think I was the nicest person about it, because I was like, it felt like almost I was getting two versions of you, but I'm sure you felt that way about me a million times. Like you were so calm, cool, collected, and then you weren't, and there was no bringing that down once it got to that place. But it makes so much sense now why I got there and how I contributed to it.
While Casey became the one trying to constantly stabilize everything, Carson experienced all of this from a completely different vantage point. Because when things got really bad, he was even younger than we were. Just a tiny little kid. My sister and I are so close in age that we understood each other differently. If we're bowling, we're both immediately quoting Mystery Men like we're Janine Garofalo with her skull-infused bowling ball.
Maybe you should put some shorts on or something if you want to keep fighting evil today.
Every time a new Harry Potter book came out, she'd burst into my room and spoil every shocking plot point, every character death, before I'd even open the cover because she needed someone to process it with.
Turn to page 394.
We could do a weird, ghostly hand wave at each other from across a room and know exactly what the other person meant. She's always been my sister, the Tia to my Tamara.
Oh, that's so cute the way they do that!
But I should probably save the twin metaphors for the actual twins in my life. But I didn't have that with my brother yet. I didn't know what was happening inside his head. I didn't run to him crying when I found out my ultimate boy band crush was gay. I mean, Lance did say his celeb crush was Katie Couric, so I really should have known. But I didn't know what kept Carson up at night, what he worried about, or how he made sense of everything happening around us. So after years of watching cancer slowly take our dad away, I didn't know how my little brother was coping. And I certainly didn't know who a 14-year-old boy turned to when his dad finally died.
We all got in Mom's bed and fell asleep in her. Remember when she had her separate room?
Yeah.
That one on the first one on the right? We all slept in that bed, and I remember waking up, going to the orthodontist.
Wow.
And the Dr. Pear asking, "So, how are things going?" And I was like, "Good."
Oh my God. Can you imagine?
And you know,
my dad died last night in our house.
I think
That's crazy.
it's crazy.
That is crazy. Why did you go? I'm assuming Mom took you.
Yeah. No, Mom, we were there.
Oh my God.
The day after, it was January 3rd.
Do you feel like you didn't process Dad's death?
No, I definitely.
Then
So I definitely pushed it all aside, and I remember Andre being mad at me because I never told them my friends for a really long time, and they just never knew. So a couple months
They
out.
didn't know Dad died?
No, for
Wow.
months. Because I just was so, I didn't want to live it at all. I was trying to hide from it so much that I remember telling them both, John and Andre and Alex, and they were just like, "What the fuck, dude? We love you. What do you?" And I kept pushing, and I would take my bike and do super, super long bike rides. And this is how, if I had my own podcast about how I became a Christian, this is where the seed was planted.
Yeah.
But I remember the feeling of I don't want to think about that, but I can't avoid it. And I'm desperately searching for meaning in life because I feel like the whole of Dad was huge.
I always assumed that's why my brother found religion. But now I know. We were not raised in a religious household at all, which, given everything you've heard about my family so far, is shocking, I know. Even before the neglect and addiction, my liberal arts college, let's try every drug dad's philosophy was always pretty simple. Find your own path, or don't. Whatever works for you. And my brother found something that helped him feel seen at a time when telling the truth about what had happened felt impossible. People have been searching for meaning after life's biggest moments for as long as humans have existed. And for a long time, I didn't understand it. If I'm being honest, part of me worried religion had found my brother at his most vulnerable. Now I see it differently. It gave him guidance, an entire community, somewhere to put all of this grief and a soft place to land. Don't get me wrong, I'm pretty sure I'll burst into flames the next time I set foot inside a church. But when you think of it that way, it kind of makes me feel like all of us other faithless heathens might be missing out on something. And even though I don't subscribe to any religion myself, I'm grateful he found something that helped carry him through. Because thank God my brother became the man he is today. And I'm not just saying that because he's still my go-to guy for smoked meats. Time out. So those of you who are old enough might remember that back in the day, TV shows across the board had really long seasons. Like, really long. 25 episodes or more. Unfortunately, Netflix is barely handing out more than one 8-episode season to some of the best shows on Earth before they delete them forever. So in our fucked up family sitcom, we gotta keep things moving here because we are getting close to full-time Wonder Years territory. And while I have a million more stories to tell about our past and what we went through, I'm sorry, Winnie Cooper. We gotta get back to the A-plot. So, last episode, I revealed that even though we finally got our mom back, we still lost her. And that's what makes this part so hard to talk about head on. But really, there's no point in dancing around it anymore.
I think for me, I felt like it wasn't the same mom from when I was little, but it was someone that like she would give advice.
Yeah.
And I was just like, wow, parenting, this is what it is.
Yeah.
You know, I'd like come to her or she'd just listen. She was a really good listener. You could come and tell her all your stupid work stuff. You know, I was young in my jobs at the time and she would just be such a good resource to be like, that is terrible, sweetie, or you're going to be able to get past this. You know, she was just a very good parent at that time for what I needed.
Yeah.
And I think I still saw her almost every other weekend. I mean, I was home all the time at that time.
Going to Costco, baby.
Yeah, Mom and we had like our little trips where we would either go and look at open houses, which is a long time tradition of ours, or go shop at Costco together or Target. So we just go to Target.
It was like, what if like innocuous, like the
or
meaningless thing, but going to a shopping trip with her was so fun. I don't know how
going to Costco with her was fun. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I remember, there was one time I would always sing around the house, and I was singing Rihanna. I was singing "Shine Bright Like a Diamond." I was just singing around the house. And I'm, in the bathroom, where her room was in the Garrett's house and my bathroom. And I'm singing and I stop for a second and Mom goes, "Keep singing." And I was like, okay.
For a while, it felt like my mom was getting her second chance. She started dating again. She fell in love. There were plans, possibilities, a future. But life has a way of refusing to stick to the script. After her partner's son suffered a devastating car accident, the relationship fell apart. And even though my mom was sober, there was always a fragility to her, a kind of anxiety humming beneath the surface. Like she was never entirely convinced she deserved the life she'd fought so hard to get back. She was living off the life insurance money from my dad, and in the back of our minds, there was always the same question. What happens when that runs out? So at first, the changes were small, like the kind of things you can explain away. She started keeping alcohol in the house and said it was for her dates. She'd get a job, but something wouldn't work out. She started dating a man I instantly disliked, someone who seemed to monopolize her time in a way that felt like he was keeping her from us. But not just her time, her money too. Little by little, it seemed like she was paying for everything. And it made me feel uneasy, like when you're watching a sitcom and your favorite character starts making decisions that don't quite feel like them anymore. Like when Rachel started dating Joey. Guys, what was that about?
You want to do it?
No!
Me neither. I'm just testing you.
You can't explain it. You just know something's off. Then one day, I gathered my family together to talk about my own mental health. Some old struggles were resurfacing, and for maybe the first time in my life, I was trying to handle them in a healthy way. I wanted to be honest and get support. And right in the middle of that conversation, my mom slumped over. Her words started slurring. Just like that, we were staring at a version of my mother I recognized immediately. And then came the blame. She said she'd taken something because she knew the conversation was going to be stressful. The classic addict reflex. The cruel irony is that we had spent years avoiding certain conversations because we were afraid they would push her back toward drugs. We barely talked about the trauma. We never talked about our twin brothers with her. Not once. We were so busy trying not to trigger a relapse that we never realized we were organizing our entire lives around the possibility of one. And it happened anyway. We discovered she'd been spending enormous amounts of money on drugs, that she'd started drinking too, that things were much worse than any of us knew. And in that moment, something happened inside me. My body knew before my brain did. It was as if every cell inside of me stood up and said, "Cut! Strike the set! It's a wrap on the whole healthy mother-daughter dynamic." The change was so apparent that the man I loved, who knew my mom the least, called it for exactly what it was.
I remember Brad, the night she relapsed, because Brad was there.
Mm-hmm.
And we get in the car and we're driving home, and like, Brad was like, everything that you've ever described, I just saw. Like, he saw it in a way that was so weirdly validating, because otherwise it had just been memories.
Yeah.
And he just, he's like, I just saw it all. I saw everything. Your mom blaming you, you and your sister and your brother, like, immediately knowing when she's on drugs, like everything I had described, he saw in one moment.
So I told my siblings I couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't talk to my mom, and I couldn't survive feeling that way again. Over the next year, I was planning my wedding to Brad while simultaneously trying to figure out if my own mom would even be invited. I was angry, then heartbroken, then furious that I was heartbroken, then I'd miss her so much I'd start crying in the middle of a Vanderpump Rules rewatch. Rinse, repeat. It was like the Ski Lodge episode of Frasier. Each emotion was a new door flying open in the farce that was my life, but with a lot less Sherry.
I think I know what that means. I think we both know.
At one point, I even unfriended her on Facebook, which is objectively one of the least dramatic things that happened in this story. And yet, it's one of the things I still feel the most guilty about. My sister kept trying longer than I did, but she eventually reached the same conclusion. She couldn't do it anymore either. My brother, though, stayed. And I think part of that is because he experienced a slightly different version of all of this than we did. My sister and I had spent years watching addiction burn through our family. We'd seen every season of this show before. But Carson was younger, and he didn't have the same instincts we did. So while we were pulling away, he moved closer. Relapse after relapse, he stayed by her side. He rearranged his entire life around helping her and trying to keep her safe. Trying to fix something that couldn't be fixed by love alone. Which, unfortunately, is a lesson every one of us had to learn the hard way.
I wrote a letter so many times that I was like, maybe I'll send her this email. Maybe I'll send her this letter. Just saying, I don't know how to do this with you, but I don't not want to have you in my life, and try to reopen that a little. And she called me on my birthday. And I talked to her. I think that was the last time I talked to her. And she made a post for me.
She did?
On Facebook. It was a weird picture she cropped from my Instagram or something, old people stuff. I just felt like I was ready to talk to her again. And then she's just gone.
Yeah.
She's just gone.
Yeah, Casey, that's how I felt. Not in the exact same way, but on Halloween, I had this feeling in my body.
It was a terrible day.
That I was thinking about her nonstop out of nowhere. And I couldn't shake it. And then I think I reached out to you and was like, have you heard from Mom? And you were like, no, I haven't heard from her in this amount of time. Carson was gone. He went on a trip with his girlfriend.
I'll never forget you calling me. I walked out to the dock, and I remember you calling me in a panic. And I remember hanging up the phone call and going, "She's dead." I was thinking she's gonna
this was before she had fully died.
She hadn't fully died, but I remember that feeling of I'm across the country.
Yeah.
I went on vacation. My mom is going to pass.
Oh.
And this is after a summer of you just
nothing but taking care,
sacrificing
every single part of you.
I couldn't for a millisecond on that vacation think about the vacation.
Yeah.
I was
Why would
the whole
you?
time, but almost part of me was I needed to go for her to pass.
Yeah.
I was in this weird Herculean effort trying to prevent her from doing it, but she was trying to die, I think.
I think so. Because I just felt I called Uncle Mike, and Uncle Mike hadn't heard from her. He called Grandmother. Grandmother hadn't heard from her. And I had not talked to her in, or less than almost a year. And Brad was at work. He was going to be at work till 3 a.m. I was panicked. And I drove to her house on a Halloween night. It was a Monday at 10 p.m. What was I going to do? What was my plan? I hadn't seen her in so long. It was just taking over me. Yeah. And I drove, and I called my friend Erin on the phone, and I'm sobbing. And she was she was ready to come with me. But I something inside me was you don't want to come to this. I know you don't want to come. And then just the worst. It was yeah. Her door was unlocked. Her sliding glass door was unlocked. I don't really know if I can talk about everything, but it was a crime scene. Yeah. I'm sure you kind of know what I'm talking about, Cars. It was a crime scene. I walked into what I thought was a dead body. And it basically was, She just didn't die in that exact moment. But it was I can't even wrap my head around it sometimes. Walking into that room, screaming for her. Sometimes when I watch certain movies or things, I'm like, or documentaries, and I'm like, I feel like I understand what that feels like to like walk in on a horse, like a horror scene. Like truly a horror scene. My mom had a habit of surviving things that felt unsurvivable. Every relapse seemed to come with a new injury so bad, we'd say, surely this has to be the thing that finally changes something. She kept tempting fate, and somehow fate kept letting her get away with it. Until she pushed it one pill, one drink, one staggering fall too far. She didn't die that Halloween night, but a few days later, Brad got the call that her addiction had finally won. And our world shattered open. The three of us suddenly needed each other more than ever because we were facing something we'd never faced before. A world without either parent in it. At 32, 30, and 25 years old, we found ourselves sitting on the floor of my mom's condo, surrounded by the physical remains of our family history. Boxes of photographs, childhood crafts, furniture, and random objects like a colander that had somehow survived decades of moves, addiction, illness, and loss that suddenly meant everything. Living in an apartment in LA only afforded me the space to hold on to a few dresses that still smelled like her. My brother once described it as the Goldilocks version of terrible timing. If we'd been younger, someone else probably would have handled most of it for us. If we'd been older, maybe we'd have houses, garages, somewhere to put all of the things we suddenly couldn't bear to part with. Instead, we were right in the middle, old enough that the responsibility belonged entirely to us, but young enough that we were completely unequipped to sort through the artifacts of our childhood and our parents' entire lives. And this made me think about my mom because, in some ways, she'd been here too. When she lost contact with her dad, she was also just beginning her adult life, trying to figure out who she was. Different circumstances, different generation, but maybe not quite as different as I'd always imagined.
Could we talk about mom's service?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. You know, that was a moment that we all agreed, let's not hide this. Like, we went through something and it's a part of her story. Let's not hide that because maybe this can help somebody else. Like, maybe, like, it did not help us to not talk about this. Certainly. Ever. So let's talk about this because you know what it could immediately help is us. And it did. Like, having people know that part, because it wasn't the only part. That was a part of it. And then we got to talk about, once you were able to, like, almost felt like knowing we were getting the bad stuff out also helped me want to get all of the good stuff out too, because it was like, I know that this bad happened. I also know that who she is. And so I feel the most capable person in the world to talk about who she is. Yeah.
I think the thing I remember too, and we talked about it after, was like we all wanted to speak. So we like the quote unquote program was like we all did speeches and then made this amazing slideshow. It was this beautiful slideshow of photos and like 3 Cat Stevens songs, but like all 3 of us didn't coordinate what we were going to say at all about our mom, and we each had very different things to say about her. But they all like gelled together, and it just, I felt like people afterwards, I think, were like, did you guys coordinate? Because it felt so like, you know, like it felt like we all found ways that we talked about her, which I think just speaks to how we all had like our own relationships with her and with each other, and that, I don't know, the amount of trust we had where we're like, we don't need to know what each other's going to say. It's not going to be the same. and that we like had it in this beautiful venue.
And it was raining.
Topanga Canyon. Our mom loved the rain. We've talked about it already.
I forgot about
it was pouring rain. Like one of the worst rainstorms in California's seen in years.
But the thing that Mom would have loved the most at her own funeral.
And we picked this place because it had a beautiful outdoor grassy patio, and we were inside for the service.
Because we had to change course.
Because it was raining so much. And everybody came, and it was like packed house. Our family flew in. Our extended family on our dad's side flew in. You know, again, all those fears of like people aren't going to care. No, they all came.
And then random people would just be like, I don't know, stories I never heard. That was a truly good day. And I don't remember feeling... Overall, I think I felt more joyful that day than sadness.
People flew in. Our family and friends showed up in droves. Our childhood family dentist came. My sister's piano teacher, and even a teacher from our high school. It was a beautiful day. It was like one chapter had closed and another, brighter one could finally begin. And that's hard to admit because it feels so wrong to say about someone you loved so deeply. But after years of worrying about her addiction, wondering where she was, if she was okay, what crisis might come next, there was suddenly actual space. When our dad died, there was some closure, some freedom, but there were no conversations, no processing. Deep down, none of us were really healing. So, it was like my dad's death amplified. We missed her, but parts of life became easier when we weren't carrying that constant fear anymore. We finally had the room to heal and ask questions. And for me, to untangle our gigantic family story. Eventually, that space led us to the last unfinished piece of it, meeting our twin brothers. But the truth is, Carson had wanted to meet them for years. And Casey brought it up every now and then too. Deep down, I knew there was another big reason we hadn't met them already. It wasn't some grand conspiracy or weirdly misguided attempt by the rest of our family to protect us that kept us from seeing them. It was me. Everybody Knows But Me is a production of Companion Arts and Next Chapter Podcasts. This episode was written by me, Holly Brown. The cold open scene you heard at the beginning is a fictionalized version of very real moments from my life, scripted by our lead producer, Pete Musto. It featured Maddie Worth as my sister Casey, Garrett Westcamp as my brother Carson, Casey Rose as me, Kevin Titt as the movie theater clerk, and Pete Musto as our show's announcer. Sound design for that scene was by Earl Davis. Editing and sound design and music supervision for the rest of the episode was by Alex Musto. Our associate producer is Ilana Nevins. Original theme music by Kyle Murdock. Our show artwork was created by Aaron Hill. Our video producer is Emily Reeves. Our videographer is Dalton Polivka. Our animator is Justin Cortese. Our marketing team is TINK Media. Our executive producers are Jeremiah Tittle and also me, Holly Brown. New episodes of Everybody Knows But Me come out every Wednesday. Follow the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, youtube.com/@everybodyknowspodcast, or wherever you get great content like ours. Do you have a story of family secrets or darkly funny drama that you want to share? We want to hear it. Email us at everybodyknowspod@gmail.com. And make sure you leave us a rating, review, or drop a comment telling us what you like about the show. Follow me at Holly Brown Comedy on all social media and Everybody Knows But Me for the podcast. And come back next week to find out what crazy hijinks the Brown family is in for and hear more of the stories we tell ourselves to survive.
Except my sweet Cecilia far away. We'll reach across an ocean, speak our hearts out loud, and sing a song of Santa Claus, and shoot the reindeer down. With arrows made of wishes, a new life on the way, surrounded by the ones we love at home on Christmas Day. The sun falls on the ocean, winter rain is cold. Sally meets an old friend. Hello, road. Take me to a place and time and let my troubles go. Thank you, life, for Christmas time at home. I said, thank you, life, for Christmas time at home.
Next Chapter Podcasts.